There she be. Look at those big chunking glaciers. That is a good shot.
Good morning, welcome to Cooley Outdoors. I am your host, Brandon Scott. With me is going to be my father. We are up here at Paradise in Mount Rainier today, and we're going to go do one of the most famous hikes in all of Washington. Yeah, I'd say so. We're going to go do the Skyline Loop Trail to Panorama Point. It's supposed to be a beautiful, sunny, 45-degree fall day. At the moment, it is very foggy, so hopefully it'll clear up some by the time it takes us to get up there. It's not a super long hike. It's 5.5 miles to do the entire round trip, and it's in every book that talks about hiking Washington as a state or hiking Mount Rainier in general. So you got the Day Hike series talks about it. Falcon Hiking Mount Rainier talks about it. 50 Hikes in Mount Rainier will talk about it. Show you the map. So there's the volcano, Nisqually entrance down here, Longmire down here. Drive up to the road to Paradise. Parked in the parking lot. The visitor center is there in the fog. The inn is over there in the heavy fog. It's a good solid 35 and foggy out. So you'd come up, go to Alta Vista, go around to Panorama Point, and then you can come down Golden Gate, but usually you go around to Sluiskin Falls and over. This is a very high hike on our list. Well, at least it's on my list, and it's not on Nash's because he's done it before. So I think when he was doing his Mount Rainier list, he eliminated hikes we had already done, but I know it's a very high hike on his list. This is also probably the hike I've done the most in my life. I think I've done it probably a dozen times with various people. Nash has done it twice. First time it was a foggy day like today, and the fog never ended up clearing, so he didn't end up ever see anything. And the second time he did it, we went all the way up to Camp Muir, and it was a glorious sunny summer day. It is fall. I was hoping to come up here and do it in fall colors when there'd be slightly less people. But I mean, we should still be able to see fall colors, and hopefully it clears up. If it does clear up, we're going to go later, go down to Reflection Lakes and Inspiration Point, hang out and enjoy the fall colors, but I'm hoping we'll get colors now. So yeah, 5.5 miles, 1,700 feet elevation gain, and hopefully we'll get to see the mountain and lots of fall colors, but you just never know. It's clear already over at sunrise. It's literally just the fog is hanging out on the south side of the mountain, and it's kind of annoying, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, there's the Henry M. Jackson Visitor Center. This is the first time I've ever done well, no, we've done snowshoeing up here. We've done snowshoeing, we'll do some more snowshoeing. I'll tag that first snowshoeing video right there. We'll definitely do more of that. And also come up here on hopefully a sunny summer day when the crowds are going crazy. Sunny until late afternoon. Wednesday mostly sunny in Paradise. 52 on Tuesday and 43 today. So yeah, it's supposed to be sunny, but that is yet to be seen. So yeah, 5.5 miles round trip, and most of it's on the downhill side after Panorama Point. So you got to gain this 1,700 feet in pretty much 2 miles or less. So it's always a stiff climb to Panorama Point. But I mean, at least the fall colors are out. Still good to see them. You just don't get to see the volcano right now. But hopefully it'll come out in the near future. So yeah, we're starting out at 5,500 feet, and we're going to end up above 7,000 feet. So it's very fragile, very short growing season. Please do not go off the trail. There is no real good reason for you to go off the trail, especially up here when it's mobbed by thousands of people each summer. I mean, the trails are paved. There's no reason why you need to leave them. I'm just getting a picture real quick of Father disappearing into the fog. which I mean is a good thing and a bad thing. And this rain jacket doesn't have a breast pocket, so my backpack strap is going to be in the way. In the wintertime, when the snow gets deep enough, they do have a sledding hill, and it sits right about here. Don't worry, there's no damage caused, because this is one of the snowiest places on the planet. Baker holds that record, but Paradise is not far behind. It averages 250 to 300 inches of snow on the ground a year, which comes out to 20, 30, 40, 50 feet of snow. It's a lot. So yeah, it's always weird. Usually I'm up here more often in the winter than I am in the summer to go snowshoeing and snowboarding. So you're here in the wintertime and all this with the tallest trees are all buried in snow, and you come here in the wintertime, it's like, huh, it's a heck of a lot more vegetated. So yeah, this first climb to Alta Vista will really wake you up and make your lungs scream. And then it'll level out a bit for a bit. And theoretically, you'll get good views of the mountain when you go around the backside of Alta Vista. And then you get to look at your final destination. But who knows? We shall see. So, the fog is frozen and is starting to collect and precipitate and come down. Hopefully that means it gets out of the sky quicker. I do not see a sun halo burning through yet, but not all is lost. If it clears off by the time we make it all the way back around, back down to Myrtle Falls, I can still get some good shots for a thumbnail in a bit. But I mean, this is still a high alpine bit. It's just what you run into. At 6,000 feet, you can get wiped and wetted out at any time. I just, really wanted a damn picture and a thumbnail and a bit of all this glorious fall color and a freaking great big stonking volcano in the background. Oh well. Last couple of pasque flower seed heads standing up still. Almost everything else is long since gone to flower seed and curl back. Some good huckleberry and heather action. Although we're starting to get into the upper limit of the huckleberry too. So we shall see. Huckleberry. Pretty huckleberry. Yeah. Lupin getting no, yeah, lupin, yeah. Starting to get a little frosted and frozen in. So at this point in the hike, Rainier would be there, and your final destination, Panorama Point, would be jutting out right there somewhere. Glacier Vista goes off that direction, which eventually brings you fairly close down to Nisqually Glacier. And I think the fire hose, that is Pebble Creek when it jumps off the moraine down into Nisqually Glacier. At some point, I'll go out over there and post that right there. You can see the old trail going that way.
No snow access. Stay on trail. That must be left over from earlier in the summer. Because this trail will be snowed in through like middle of June. And you will need micro spikes or crampons or something. So it's a bit of a treacherous mess. But theoretically, you can come up here year round because as long as it's not storming and snowing and blowing in the wintertime, they keep the road plowed to paradise to come up here for snowshoeing, some sledding and skiing and everything else. And we've been up to Panorama Point in January, down on snowshoes, of course. Alright, Father says he can't see it. Can you? Oh yeah, you can see that on the camera, easy. So, Panorama Point's up there. Volcano's over there. There's nothing further here between us but air, and 1,000 feet down it'd be the Nisqually Glacier. Chippy, begging, filthy beggar. You better go find yourself some seed pods, little dude. So Nisqually, the birth in the Nisqually River, and the Nisqually Glacier is down there. There should be picture perfect mountain there. That was the whole plan and idea getting up here. Instead, we're getting snowflakes and fog. Oh well. Welcome to Pacific Northwest. Don't come here, it's not worth visiting. Stay home in California, or Arizona, or Texas, or New York, or Europe, or wherever else you come from. Stay home, it's not worth it. It sucks 24/7, 365. It's gross. The other difference is, if you come out here before July when there's still snow on the ground, this whole trailside cliff here is one big snowbank, and it's fairly treacherous if you don't know what you're doing and if you don't have proper footing on.
I remember these conditions from St. Helens.
Yeah, exactly.
3 months apart.
Yep. Yeah, if you go watch our St. Helens summiting video, it was like this, and we had to sit up at the summit for a good hour and a half for it to even burn off at all. And then it burnt off and it was clear and gorgeous on our way down. So we may have a repeat of that up at Panorama Point, because it's only like, yeah, it's only 10:15. This is all we're doing today besides going and sitting at Reflection Lake and Inspiration Point, and those are both car side pullouts, so we really don't have anything better to do today. Ugh. It sure is collecting a little heavier on the rocks too. Not that the rest of the Skyline Trail is bad, the whole thing is amazing, but this is one of the more memorable sections where they literally chipped it out of the cliff to get up here into a driving snowstorm. Half tempted to put my sunglasses on and turn the windshield wipers on. Not a lot, we're alright. It adds to the ambiance. And yes, YouTube, we have seen and done much more sketchier sections of trail than that, but for a main trail in a national park that sees probably 10 or 15,000 people a year, it's a pretty tight spot. And there wasn't even any snow there to hop across either. So it can be spicy. And then, not before too long, we'll get to the trail that'll turn left and go up to Pebble Creek and Camp Muir. When we go up, how many times have we been up to Muir, Dad? 5? 4 or 5?
4 and one fail.
One fail. That's right, and we had to turn back halfway between Pebble and Muir. Yeah. So Camp Muir is 10,000 feet up the side of Mount Rainier, and it's the overnight camp for summiting the mountain. It's a 2-day climb for all of the best people. First day you leave. It's more treacherous for you going down. You got gravity pulling you.
Yes, in my case, we just said.
Whereas we can fight gravity. Have a good one. So yes, the first day you start at Paradise about mid-morning. You go to Muir, hop in one of the shelters up there, sleep for the rest of the day, and then you get up at 2 a.m. the next day to make it to the summit. Around daybreak, around sunrise, you can catch sunrise at the top of the mountain, and then you come all the way back down the next day. Muir you can do as a day hike, and it's challenging, but it's really freaking fun. So you can see here, you turn up this trail and you go up there, Pebble Creek, 0.8 miles, which is where the end of the main trail is, because then you start walking up what was the Muir Glacier and is now the Muir Snowfield. And it's just stair-stepping for 2 miles, but on snow.
Don't let the 2.7 fool you.
Yeah, the 2.7 miles, it'll take you,
6 miles.
it feels like 6, and it'll take you about 3 hours. But the way back down is super fun, because you just bring up a trash bag and slide on your ass for 3,000 feet back down, because this is only 7,000 feet. Muir is 10,000, and that entire 3,000 foot difference is on snow on your way up and snow on your way down. So it'll take you 3 hours to go up, and it'll take you about 45 minutes of going whee to come back down. So yeah, I'll post that back there. And then if and hopefully when we summit Rainier, instead of just going to Muir, I'll transpose that right probably there. Yeah. Something about know how to camp in whiteout conditions. And we're not really cold because we've been hiking so much. My watch says I have burned 500 active calories, and we have gone up 1,200 feet in 1.75 miles. But I didn't start at this beginning. I didn't think about it until I got almost to the top of Alta Vista. Approaching Panorama Point on the Skyline Trail in Mount Rainier National Park. That weird right angle up there is the stone outhouse. Yeah, no, I can't believe you did that either. That was really dumb of you. Yeah. I guess. I'd just rather watch people snowboard and ski down it than you climb up it in your snowshoes. That was back when he was a much younger, slightly dumber man. Yeah. See the dry spot here from the wind blowing the snow? should be just about arriving at Panoramico. No hiking, meadow repairs, please, for the love of God. Stay on the established trail. Don't go walking through these meadows and destroying them, because it takes a long time for them to regrow back. Yeah. Because every step you take and establish a trail, 6 months, 5 other people will follow you. 6 months after that, 5 people will follow each one of them. And before you know it, you go from a pristine meadow to a 3-foot wide trail that never gets healed and is always scarred across the landscape. Pooping station over there.
Hey, Park hasn't gone on the other side yet.
Huh?
Park is still here on the other side.
Yeah, I know. Alright, we have officially arrived. Panoramico Point. 6,800 feet. Low Skyline trail closed, so you have to go take the high Skyline, huh? Looks like it's kind of permanently closed.
Apparently.
Because they put rocks out in front of it. Oh well,
It's over.
high Skyline is more fun anyway. Yeah. So yeah, Panorama Point. Normally, you'd be able to see lots of things. St. Helens, Adams, Hood, and Jefferson. If you're lucky on a clear day, you have the volcano behind you. Today, not so much. I'm gonna bite you.
How much video up here?
Nope. Was hoping to hang out for half an hour, 45 minutes. Guess not. So, up until a few years ago, I'm talking to the camera. Up until a few years ago, when you didn't want to leave Panorama Point and continue along the Skyline Trail, there was a high Skyline and a low Skyline. The low Skyline meant Panorama Point was as high as you were, and you'd take off around there and go around. High Skyline, you have to bushwhack and switch back up a couple 100 feet higher, go up and around, and then come back down. But they both meet up over there somewhere. The problem with the low Skyline was it's on this steep enclave back here behind us, or in front of us, and it would hold snow until long after 4th of July, sometimes into early August. And it was quite treacherous to cross at times. On the flip side, if you knew what you were doing, it was fun. It was a shortcut, and you could glissade down to other chunks of the trail if you're at the right time of year. But it looks like they've quote-unquote permanently closed the low Skyline with a barricade and rocks, because probably too many people were risking it for the biscuit unnecessarily and getting hurt or getting stuck. So they've had to close it because people don't know how to behave themselves. Yes, I've done it when there's snow. But I mean, like, the snow would be all the way here and it'd look like just one big glacier all the way down. I'd go do it sometimes, but you know, it'd be later in the summer when the snow is much less. You could still see where the trail goes and safely cross about 80% of it. And you can still see there's still snow to this day right now in parts of it. So yeah, Panorama Point is that blob there. Next time we come up here, whether it's in summer, winter, or fall, and it's a nice day out and you can actually see things, I'll stop and take a longer exposure, even with the crowds, which is the whole reason why I came up here today, was to avoid that. scenario, but oh well. So I'll post the Panorama Point long exposure right there, and we'll continue climbing up the high Skyline to its tippy top, and then drop back down to Golden Gate and Sluiskin Falls onto Mazama Ridge. There's some cool rock formations here. Even in early October, on the first cold days of the year, when it's been sunny and 70 plus up here for most of the last 3-4 months, you'll still find snow. Cascade volcanoes, baby. Volcano? No volcano. Father, hiking in the snow. Let's see. Will that improve my situation or make it worse? Kind of looks like I made it worse. Let's see if I can find. It looks mostly better. But I never took my backpack off to get the microfiber cloth out, so I'm only gonna have a limited amount of shots of that. Oh well. And if you still felt good and spicy, there is a second option to go up Pebble Creek. You turn here and you go wiggle, 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 up you go. Well, I think actually the Pebble Creek trail is right there, so you just can jump it and go. If you wanted to see both without backtracking. But this should be just about the high point on the high Skyline coming up here. I don't think today's gonna be a glissading day. I said I don't think today would be a glissading day. Yeah. Yeah. So this should be the high point, and then I go that way, and then we roll down here shortly. Sometimes you hike the trail and you get the scenery. Sometimes you hike the trail and you get the experience. Today is one of the days of the latter. Not that it's not incredibly pretty, but I was hoping for a dang volcano.
Those two could have been a statistic.
Oh, easy. Easy. Where's your trail map? Where's your backpack? Where's your rain layer? Yeah, always come out prepared, people. Just because the forecast says one thing doesn't mean it's not going to do something else, because this has been 2 adventures in a row where it said it's going to be sunny and we've gotten snow. So yeah, Mother Nature comes hard and comes fast in the mountains of the Pacific Northwest. I mean, this could vary. It's a lot less likely, But this could very easily be a day in the middle of July or August too. It doesn't have to be because we're 2 weeks into fall. This could have easily happened in the middle of August when it was supposed to be a 90-degree day. But it's coming fast and it's coming thick. And just around the mountain, 90 degrees, or I guess sunrise is kind of northeast, so it'd be more like what, 120 degrees around the mountain? It's nice and sunny at sunrise, so it all just depends on where you are, because the mountain is big enough that she makes her own weather. Very easy for her to make her own weather, and she does all the time. So make sure when you're going out in the mountains, you're prepared for it. Water? Oh, okay. I had 2 cameras going, so I had to kill one of them. Yeah, when we stopped at Panorama Point, even for that couple of minutes, I got chilled fast, but that's because I took my fleece off.
I don't get chilled up there, but I could tell it wouldn't take very long.
Yeah. Alright, YouTube, so for reference, I have a thin layer of long underwear, fleece long underwear on. Then I have my hiking pants, and then I put my rain pants on because it's precipitating. And then this morning I came out with a long sleeve nylon instead of a short sleeve because I was never going to strip all the way down to the nylon. Then I had my middle thickness green fleece hoodie, full zip hoodie. I took that off because I started cooking. And I have rain jacket and finger optional mittens, and that's what you should be coming out with. And I have a warm hat on instead of a regular hiking hat because it was supposed to be a bit breezy, but it's also waterproof, so it's equally good against the snow and the rain. Father's got pretty much the same on.
Yep. Gore-Tex pants, Gore-Tex coat.
And wear layers and pack layers because it's easy to strip on and off, but if you don't bring it, it's kind of hard to put it on. And you also equally want to be able to strip in case you start getting really hot, because you don't want to be super sweaty, because as soon as you stop moving, that sweat will freeze in this ambient air and then you'll get hypothermic. So be able to strip on and off as needed. And multiple people know where we are today. My mother knows. She saw us on the webcam this morning because there are webcams at the visitor center. We don't always get that luxury, so make sure you tell multiple people where you're going, where you're parking, and what you're planning to hike to. I do that every single time I leave. I send a text to Sabrina and my mother at minimum, and if Nash is coming with me, she gets that text number, and I send the exact pin of the parking lot on Google Maps where we're parking, and I tell them what trail we're going on and what our goal destination is to be.
It's pretty in the snow.
God, it is very pretty.
Better than all being all white.
Yeah. The sun is trying to cook out, and we can see more than 400 feet in front of our faces now. Panorama Point is up there somewhere. And we had to walk all the way up and around and come back down. So we should be nearing the trail junction for Golden Gate, which you can take, and it'll take you almost straight back down to Paradise. But we're gonna go do the full loop and go to Sluiskin Falls and Fourth Crossing and such. This is actually one of the first trails I ever remember doing with my parents. Dad took Jared and I on this trail. We had to be both less than 10. And we did the whole thing. And between that and going up and doing Pinnacle Peak not too much longer later, I think it was the same summer, and getting to see what would be a volcano and up in the Alpine, it was literally mind-blowing to me. My mind could not comprehend that you could go do stuff like this. Like, yeah, we'd been to Yellowstone and we'd seen the geothermal features and stuff, and that's cool, but that was a whole different kind of cool. That was, to that point in our lives, we had still only been
pretty much doing the boardwalks and stuff. We hadn't gone on any big, difficult hikes, and he took us on this Skyline loop and then up to Pinnacle Peak, which I need to go back and do for YouTube and for my own love of the hike in back-to-back weekends almost when we were really young. I don't think I was even 10 yet. And it was just, it set me on this course. No two ways about it. So he also brought up a good point that a couple of people were getting lost on the trails and asking us where to go. You should always make sure you have maps and multiple versions of maps, because on a day like today you can very easily become a statistic, and the best way to not become a statistic and it being just an unscheduled adventure is to be prepared in all facets of it. Starting to drop back down into the trees some more along what's going to be known colloquially as Golden Gate Falls. We're not quite to Sluiskin. We did just pass the junction. If you take Golden Gate Trail, it shaves a mile of hiking back to Paradise. It's 1.5 miles versus 2.5 miles. But we're doing the full loop this time around, right? I can come back up here some other time and hit some other trails. Good morning.
Good morning.
Those are some big, soft, fluffy flakes there again. Straight down. No, probably not. Oh well, that just means for once you get to be at Reflection Lake and watch the snowfall without having to be outside in snowshoes. Yeah, so here's the little Golden Gate Falls. It's barely a trickle because there's been no water all summer, you know. It's been sunny out. Come back and see this in June or July and it's a lot more. Alright. Memory serves correct. We are dropping into the junction with the Paradise Valley Trail and Sluiskin Falls. Yes, because I can hear it rumbling and roiling. One time, Nash and I, when we came out here to do our little snowshoeing and dorking around up at Paradise, our initial goal was to snowshoe to Sluiskin Falls because it looked like it was fairly doable. But it turned out it became a very warm, avalanche-prone day, and we saw a couple come down while we were snowshoeing. So we decided discretion was a better part of valor and turned the heck around and went dorked around and had chocolate and alcohol somewhere else. But you're gonna come in here, go across this bridge, and there'll be a trail going up this river valley, the top of the Paradise River, which drains out of the one-time Paradise Glacier, which is now no more than a snowfield, and barely that anymore. In the early days of the park, think of up until the 70s or 80s, most of this valley in here, till fairly close to this junction, was a glacier, and this was where the famed Rainier or Paradise ice caves were. We're at the foot of this glacier, and it was not a very hard day hike to get up here, up top of Sluiskin Falls. To walk up the Paradise Glacier Trail would be a 6 or 7 mile hike day, but you'd be able to go explore some ice caves at the mouth of the Paradise Glacier now.
Goats.
Oh.
8.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I see. There's a couple of little ones that kept dotting around. Sick. Top of that mound. Mm-hmm.
Tweeters are flying around.
Yeah, like, I'm assuming it's going to be like a kestrel or a small hawk.
Somebody at the marmot's not worried about.
No. He's got about 4 times the weight of that bird. It's tempting to sit here and shoot video for 20 minutes or 30 minutes.
That would be worthwhile doing a real nice slow
Pan around, yeah. This is what it looks like when there's no clouds abating everything. Look at how red all those huckleberry bushes are. So you come out and hike this trail and come out to this spot in the fall, and there's, I'm not going to say guaranteed because we don't see one yet this time around, but fairly good probability you will see a black bear munching on the huckleberries up here. If you're out here, cover enough mileage in the fall up here, you will see a black bear.
September.
When the berries, yeah, when the berries especially are ripe in September, when they first start to turn color a couple weeks ago, it would have been peak. Because about all the berries are have either been grubbed off or have fallen off by now, so they're starting to head down the mountain a bit. I want to go roll around in it some. Absolutely gorgeous. Trail marking?
Property of UW.
It's nailed into the ground for something. Somebody probably doing a seed survey or something, some biologist. That would be my guesstimation. Mushrooms. We saw a lot of very large mushrooms on our hike to Valhalla the other day.
Oh, yeah. Elderberries starting to turn and go, and
Clucks like crackers flying around.
Those are gray jays.
Huh?
Those are gray jays. Those are the camp robbers. Camp rabbits. Hi, Chippy. I see you grubbing. Grubbing and burying. Cloud deck finally lifts some. You can get some good look at the fall colorings as we descend back down towards Paradise proper on the Skyline Trail. Oh, man. Good afternoon. Now I really don't want to turn the camera off. Come on. Just give me one bear skulking through that meadow. Or any part of this meadow. I'll be a very happy boy. That's all I need to top it off. One bear. So I believe this is going to be a ground squirrel. What's up, extra chunk? You more than just a nugget. You a whole thigh into the culvert. So I believe this is 4th crossing. The Lakes Trail that leads you down to Reflection Lake. Yep. Lakes Trail, High Trail to Faraway Rock and Reflection Lakes. Boop. So you can walk that direction down to Reflection Lakes. We've snowshoed both directions up from. We've come.
Yeah.
Have we come down? I know we've come up the spur a ways.
Yeah.
Because we went down once.
All the way up here and gone out that way, snowshoeing too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now we'll swing around and get to look into the Paradise River Valley proper. Maybe. It looks kind of socked in still. We'll drop down and then we gotta climb back up. And then we'll get to Myrtle Trail, to Myrtle Falls, and the trail will go from being dirt back to being 5 feet wide and paved. And that's what we'll run into a whole bunch of people. But yeah. It's a bummer that the sun didn't come out like it was supposed to, but still pretty freaking sweet. Can't get much prettier. Now, if only the sun was out to make it blindingly bright.
I forgot about this part of the trail where we come along this creek.
It really? This
Well,
is.
It's been 10 years since Mom and I have been on this part, on this trail. It's
Yeah.
been a long time.
Climbing out of 4th Crossing, Paradise River and Paradise Valley, heading back to the visitor center and the inn that direction via this gorgeous, colorful palette. Pretty, yeah. It still doesn't look like this mountain ash has turned color yet, some of it. And some of the willows.
I do like my snowshoeing sticks better. 'Cause the hand, you put your hands so you don't have to hold
Yeah,
it.
you have to hold it and grip it the whole time, yeah.
It just follows you and goes.
Mm-hmm. And they're taller too, so you can get better push.
Well, I mean, I can lengthen these and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just like not having to grab on and hold everything.
Yeah, it's special, guys. It really is a special thing to be able to come out and see this. No, that's fine. No, there's no water drops on the camera lens. That's just a frog up at the top up there. Morning. Should have stopped back there and got a couple pictures of the huckleberry bushes. Well, I can do that up here. Yeah. Afternoon. Trying to get a couple of pictures. Pictures. leaves. Love me my huckleberries. Doesn't matter what time of year or what they're doing. It almost doesn't seem real how red they are. Big chunk of blue sky. Where's that been all day?
When we go down.
Alright, we're coming up on Myrtle Falls. Blue sky is coming out, the Tattooshes are coming out. We're almost done with the hike. So, I suppose I should probably run the intro now, because after Myrtle Falls, it's a pretty easy saunter back to Paradise within half a mile. So, thank you for joining us on this Cooley Outdoors adventure where we did the full Skyline Trail loop at Paradise and Mount Rainier National Park. I have been your host, Brandon Scott, and my father's been tagging along with me. The weather wasn't super cooperative, at least not yet, for our hike. It might still tease us some more, but the fall colors are definitely out and about. This is one of the most well-known and well-loved trails in the state and in the country. So let's do ratings. First, give you some stats. It's 5.5 miles round trip. Takes about 3.5 hours, depending on how much you stop. You gain 1,700 feet if you go up to high Skyline. If you only go to Panorama Point, you only gain 1,400. If you only go to Panorama, you're gonna not do the 5.5 miles anyway. Accessibility. Barring a major winter storm, they keep the road plowed to Paradise, so you can theoretically at least get to the trailhead year-round. Now, for half the year, it's going to be a snowshoe and not a hike, and it's about 2.5 hours from downtown Seattle to the parking lot. So I'm going to go ahead and give it 4 stars. Difficulty, you do start high and get higher. It is steep no matter which way you go. It's not super long though, so I'm going to give it a 3.5 stars out of 5. And then enjoyment. Well, we didn't get to see the mountain this time around. Instead, we got completely snowed in. But the fall colors are out and about. And as long as you get something to look at, whether it's the mountain, the wildflowers in the spring, or the fall colors in the fall, it is an absolutely wonderful hike. So I'm going to give it a 5 stars. As long as you're not up here in a blasting snowstorm or a rainstorm, you got nothing to see or look at or enjoy. It's a wonderful trail. In a couple of days, we are hopefully going to go get some adventuring done for Sabrina and I's anniversary, and those videos will be up shortly after this. But until then, I think it's time to take off. We'll talk to you next time, and ciao. And that's Myrtle Falls right there.
They've all been sitting here for a long time.
Huh?
These people in the tripod,
Oh, yeah.
they've been here a long time since they didn't see them. They've been stopping, taking pictures and stopping, taking pictures.
I'm assuming it's just the color. That's Myrtle Falls there. I'm not going to go bother trying to go see it now. The best time to do it is winter when there's the least amount of people here. Fall colors. Maybe there's bear or something. Who knows?